the no bullshit survival skills for graphic designers.
Nice.
Okay, that I guarantee you, will help you no matter what your journey looks like.
Mhm.
Right? For example, number 1.
Yep.
Get over your fucking self.
Wait, I'm the best. I worked at Google.
You're listening to the Angry Designer Podcast, where we help frustrated graphic designers crush all the industry BS and learn what it takes to charge what you're worth and build badass, rewarding careers. In this episode, you're going to learn about the myths commonly associated with the design industry that drive graphic designers nuts and lead to so much unnecessary grief, burnout, headache, complaining, nightmares, heart palpitations, middle of the night wake-ups. Yeah, we're also going to share what we feel are the 9 most important straight-up killer survival skills that every graphic designer needs to have to make it in this industry. So grab yourself a drink and sit back, or hold on to that steering wheel and keep your eyes on the road, or better yet, get to work and enjoy.
All right.
Bum, bum. This is always fun. Hey, bud.
How you doing?
Hey, bud.
Do you notice anything missing?
There's something missing on this table.
There's a hole at our table.
There's a hole where a drink should be. Well, I kind of, in light of today's episode,
Yes.
I wanted to do something special.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, special.
Check this out. Ready for this?
Oh.
It's a brown bag,
Da-da-da-da.
right? And it looks pretty. Look at that. It looks look at that. Look at that. So, we have been pretty fortunate the past year.
Yeah.
Right. And we've had a lot of people, enter the show, and we've had a lot of great interviews, and we've, it's been cool. And we've treated ourselves to some great scotches. We've treated ourselves to, some like fancy packaging and really fancy rare distilleries, numbered drinks. It was like a lot of weird shit. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But just as we need to appreciate the finer things, okay, it's equally important to recognize, the reliable, no-nonsense quality of good old trusty
Oh, Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, baby.
I got PTSD from this stuff.
And the reason is, my angle here, is that this is almost a reminder to us that amidst all the fancy options out there, all the bells and whistles and everything, there's value in appreciating the basics that never, ever let us down.
Right.
And I figured that'd be a perfect tie-in to this episode.
Yes.
So is that all right? All right. So we're going to try today. It's been a little while since we had good old trusty Jack.
It's been a long time.
And we've tried a lot of shit, but we need to be able to go back and appreciate something like this.
This is the bare bone. This is the basic, the original.
This is the original. This is what started the whole thing for
that
us,
label,
right?
though.
I know.
God
and you know
damn,
what?
that's
Like,
nice.
You can argue this label all you want, but that brand
That's
is,
beautiful.
it is, if you sit back and look, those fonts are still beautiful.
Yep, it
right?
still
that
works.
Old number 7 is great.
Mhm.
And it's so recognizable
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah.
People mock it on t-shirts, this, that. But look, I mean, it's just a black label, white. Like, can't get any cheaper than this.
No,
It's cost effective. They haven't had to rebrand ever, right?
Yes.
Now let's try.
Yes.
Let's taste
All
this bad
right,
boy
let's-
and let's
It's
appreciate.
a screw top. Holy shit.
Haven't had one of those in a long time, right?
Wow. That takes me back to the woods out behind my house
That's
in
the
grade
part-
7.
I remember, just getting into this, younger when you're in like high school or whatever. And everybody's got a Jack story.
Yeah.
And I remember people
totally.
being dumb enough to try to shoot this stuff at the country bar. And it was just like, oh, right? 'Cause that's what you would do. He's like, oh yeah, let's take a shot of Jack's. That wasn't very smart, was it? All right, buddy.
Jack and Coke I'm used to. Salute.
Cheers to this.
Oh, jeez. It's got some.
Oh,
Whoa.
dude, that smells so good. Come on. Mm-mm-mm. Come on. Come on.
Well,
So it's not the same kind of journey we're used to. And granted, maybe it burns a little bit coming
burns
down.
a little bit.
But this is kind of what starts it off for so many people, right? And
Yeah.
it's just good, back to the basics, sour mash whiskey, right?
Wow.
Great legend, great story, great brand. And you know what? It's not nearly as bad. We've tried a lot of really great shit, and we've tried some pretty bad great shit, as they call it. And it's like, it's, you know, this, you can just sit back, you can sip and be like, all right, you know what? I can get back into this.
Yes. Right? Yes. It's not bad. I'd roll with a cube on this one, but that would be me. But still,
no, I agree with you on
would
that.
You?
I think that would be perfect, actually. I think it'd be perfect.
On the rocks would be quite lovely.
So how the hell this ties into our episode? Okay,
no, I get it now.
This is the whole point. Okay,
yes.
So you know, it's pretty scary lately because tech layoffs are not in the hundreds, but they're in the thousands, and they're in the 10,000s. They are even in the fucking hundreds of thousands.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Stats in the past 2 years, since 23 and already the 6 months of 24, okay, there has been over 3,000 tech companies that have laid off people. Okay.
Jesus.
And you want to talk about numbers? We're talking about close to 750,000 people have been laid off, okay, from tech companies.
Holy shit.
So, you know, how does that affect us? So, you know, like, well, who cares? Who cares? Whatever, right? The thing is, it's like the people that they are laying off, okay, they don't know anything other than this tech, you know, luxury, fantasy, make-believe Walt Disney like fucking experience. Okay. They some of them got scooped up straight from college or university, right? They got, you know, into this incredible job with slides and ping pong fucking tables and masseuses and unlimited vacations. And I mean, they were, you know, treated like, you know, not gods, but, you know, they were treated in this way that was just unheard of for so many of us.
Yeah.
And now they lost their jobs. And companies are pulling back. They're not letting people work from home anymore. They're not providing all these perks and all these, you know, like fringe craziness, right? And there is a whole generation, if not close to 2 generations of people in the workforce that don't know what to do, right? They don't know how good they are, if they are, because let's face it, you know, it's like they would have one job, you know, do journey maps all day for weeks and weeks, and you know, amidst coffee breaks, latte breaks, you know, massages, this, that, right? It's, you know, a lot of insane. And granted, maybe they worked, maybe they didn't. Some of the stats that I'm reading is pretty ridiculous, but the reality is, this was their idea of what work was like.
Right.
Okay. And the rest of us were like, guys, that's not fucking work. That's like, I mean, it's an amusement park that these people had. And I feel sorry for these people because a lot of them weren't, they had no survival skills. Okay. They have never actually struggled because they went from one, you know, light, fancy, you know, startup, and they're like, oh, it's startup life. That's what I'm expecting. And then they go to another place and it's, ooh, startup life again. And then Google gets me. And that's like an amusement park, 24 hours fucking a day. Right. And now everybody's pulling back. These guys don't know what to do because they're not sure what they're qualified for or if they're good as they thought they were.
Right.
Okay. And again, the lack of survival skills that they've had to develop, right? They have none.
Yeah. And these aren't generalists coming out of Google, are they?
No, they're not.
Somebody who's well-versed in a lot of things. You know, these are specific tasks.
Very specific. And again, they're brilliant people, some of them, right? But I mean, just because you're smart doesn't mean you're guaranteed a job. That's the problem, right? I've known some people, even here locally, even Google locally, okay, a small town like ours, and they laid off like 750 people.
Yep.
And, you know, and when Google here would have like, you know, what do they employ? Like thousands anyway.
Easily, yeah.
That's a huge number,
that's
right?
Chunk. Yeah.
So now, and then if we were to back that up a little bit more, okay, one of the biggest industries for designers is technology. Right. And it's scary. And now, granted, you know, whether or not all of our listeners are even remotely in that space or how many of them are in the space, the part that worries me is with all these people losing their jobs, right, without survival skills, you know, going back to the basics like Jax and being able to appreciate, you know, what started us in this journey. This is the important thing.
Right.
So today's episode is I just want to go out there and we're going to talk about, you know, the realities, you know, we're going to call bullshit on what people think is in the industry or what is reality. Okay. And a lot of these things. Yeah. And then we're going to, you know, give designers like 9 survival skills on how to actually get through this, because you know what, it's coming for all of us one way or another, whether it's, you know, losing a customer, gaining another customer, losing a job, having somebody younger coming after our jobs, fucking AI coming for people potentially, right? Not in our space, not in the ones who listen to us anyway, because we're giving them advice, but the reality is, it's like, things change so quick.
Yes.
And without the right knowledge, without the right, survival skills in place,
Yep.
you're going to freeze to death. You're going to starve, without the right survival skills, you're never going to make it into the woods. And like for a lot of people, the future's pretty dark looking right now.
That would be quite scary. Yeah. Because again, if you're right out of school doing this stuff and you've never really worked, paid your dues or anything like that.
Exactly, right?
You're in for a big shock.
Right. And I am worried that, it could happen to anybody, right? It really could. And granted, while maybe we may not be as susceptible, and a lot of our listeners are freelancers, but for the ones that are in-house designers, be careful for, and it's not be careful. And I'm not, this isn't a, gloom and doom scare anybody type thing.
No.
But this is a reality check that there's certain things, survival skills that we want to implement and make sure everybody understands that they have.
Yes.
Okay? But before we get to that, which is the really cool, fun stuff, let's call bull on a lot of shit that's out there, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff that people hear and they think is legit, but like it's not. And what I mean by that is all right, you hear overnight success.
Yes.
You see people like James Martin, James Bernard, and you're like, holy shit.
Right out of the gate, these guys.
Wow, right? These guys, wow, it's incredible, right? This happens all the time, right? And I mean, they get gigs straight out of school. They become famous instantly. And the reality is that's not real. Okay, that shit doesn't happen because the reality is, it's a marathon. Everybody, has to go through a marathon. Nobody graduates and lands a huge job and becomes famous. Yeah. You talk to those boys, you realize that their struggles, overnight success, is actually 10 years on average, right? Yeah. I think we even did an episode that overnight success is like 13 years in the making,
totally,
right?
Yeah.
But it's true, right? Yeah. It's like, you need to be prepared to, start small, right? Take on the less glamorous shit, right? And pay your dues and build your portfolio, right? And then the persistency and dedication over time is what actually consists of overnight success.
Exactly. Like even CJ, when we talked to him, like he's just a young guy.
Very young.
But that fucking guy paid his dues.
He paid his dues.
Holy shit. Like he had a kind of a hard knocks upbringing in design.
He did. And then again, and he took jobs, right? He worked while he took design jobs. That guy was like everywhere. But he knew what that end goal was for him, right?
Exactly.
So that one's a huge one that people need to realize. Another bull, that you hear of a lot in the industry is things need to be perfect or the perfection trap, right? God. And it's like, everything I do has to be perfect, if it's going to go to my client or if it's going to go to my portfolio. But the reality is, striving for perfection leads to burnout. It leads to missed deadlines, and clients aren't necessarily looking for perfection. No. They're looking for delivery. Yeah. Okay. But people don't realize that. Sometimes people have their heads so far up their ass thinking that, they got to strive to make this perfect. Clients won't see what that perfection is. They don't, right?
No.
If we had to give advice on this, right? Like aim for like an 80% state.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Like hit that 80% mark because between 80% and 100%, okay, only we know the difference.
That's right.
Clients wouldn't know, if that font is kerned. Just perfectly, right? Is kerned pretty good at 80%? They're not going to see the difference between 80 and 100. They're not going to see that, perfect, balance between the title and the subtitle, 80% is generally, and not that I'm saying, deliver substandard work, because that's not what this is about.
80 is really good.
It is incredible. Our 80 in the customer's eyes already surpasses 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally.
If a customer is judging us on that little 20% in the middle, that literally is where we can spend so many hours obsessing over, right? Trust me, you got bigger issues to worry about than that job for that customer, okay?
Yes, you do.
There's a lot more shit coming through. Another call it bullshit in the industry, right, is the exposure scam.
Oh, this is the best.
And everybody will hear this, right? Like literally, it's like, the belief is, you need to do work for free. You need to do spec work. You need to do stuff for exposure, and eventually it'll pay off. Unfortunately, that doesn't pay the bills. That doesn't pay for the whiskey that we're drinking on this episode.
Exposure won't even pay for Jack Daniels.
Right? The reality is, unfortunately, so many times designers get exploited for their ideas, for their concepts, for their mock-ups, and never see a penny from them. Okay. And I think almost everybody who's been doing this for 5, 7, 10 years has got a story to lead to this.
Yeah.
You know, so if somebody ever flags that to you and they're like, you know, ooh, you know, it's, you know, do this, it's going to be for the right audience, you better double check and make sure that there's something of huge value in it for you.
Right.
Either there's a learning opportunity,
Right.
or it's a perfect portfolio piece, or, you know, possibly there is going to be like an opportunity because of it, you know,
Right.
whether it's in the right networking environment. You got to make sure that if you're willing to work for free,
Yeah.
you better be prepared that it's going to be for free.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
make sure that there's something in there for you, right?
An internship with David Carson,
Ooh,
that would be fine.
fucking take that free for a
I
year.
think that is free, and that is good because you will learn a shit ton of that stuff.
right. And that's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
That's legit.
Yes, at your local newspaper or flyer business kind of thing,
Or at a
doing
business
free
that's
stuff
like,
there.
hey man, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to be big. We got some big stuff coming out here. I just need a free logo.
Yeah.
I need you.
Yeah.
And then just score me a website.
I swear, yeah.
Just a small one, 3 pages, 5 tops,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Oh, and then I also need this questionnaire on there. And dude,
Yeah.
no, the shit doesn't happen, right? All right, another one. Okay, the social media. What is it? Facade? No, facade.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
the social media facade. I don't even know why I can't say that word. Facade.
It's that stupid C in there. Who,
I know,
who
right?
did that?
No,
Who-
it's the social media facade.
Yes.
Right. And so the bullshit here is a large social media following is, you know, equals success,
Oh.
equals high paying customers.
Right.
Okay. But the reality is, from everybody that we meet, that doesn't necessarily translate to financial stability.
Nope.
It doesn't translate to meaningful work. Right. Oftentimes, you know, it's portfolio pieces. Oftentimes it could even be fake, you know, fake leads. When we talk to, you know, people like James Bernard and James Martin and Christy with their followers, right? Or CJ, right? There's a lot of work that goes behind that, right?
Yes.
But the few handful, you know, high level examples, you know, that will gladly share their secrets,
Yeah.
you know, that is nothing compared to all these fake people out there, right? So don't feel like you need to have these high followers in order to be successful in this space,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You need to worry about building those genuine relationships. Okay. And then you need to use social media as a tool, right? Not necessarily a measure of how good you are or your worth. Again, those people, right? They use that as a tool and they work that tool.
Yes.
It is almost, they put almost as much effort in their social media as they do work. Translating stuff to work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where that, you know, but it pays off in that
It
sense,
does,
right?
yes.
For them, it pays off.
Yes.
But recognize how much work has had to go in there.
Yes.
All these other people who are just buying followers and everything, it doesn't necessarily mean that they rock, because oftentimes it's all fake.
Yeah, like Christy and James Bernard, those guys essentially are working 2 jobs. Do you know what I mean? Like the social media is a job unto itself.
Onto his, you don't believe us? Listen to that episode that we just had with
Yeah.
CJ.
Yes.
And he'll tell you how much work goes into
Goes
that,
into that,
right?
yes.
So be prepared. But again, it's not a measure of success. It's not a measure of worth.
Yeah.
You know, in those situations, it's a tool for them
Yeah.
and it works very well. But recognize they are also putting in the effort behind that.
That's right.
But not everybody does.
Yes.
All right. The client is always right.
Ah.
Right? The more time you spend in this space, the more, you know, we're always told the client is right. They go, do what they want, do what they want, do what they want.
Yeah.
More time than none, the client is actually wrong.
Yes.
And they're looking to us for our expertise.
Right.
Okay. They're hiring us for our guidance to help them with their brand. They're not looking for yes people that are going to be like, sure, I'll give you that. Sure, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
As a designer, our job is to, you know, question them, you know, almost challenge them in a good way, not be dicks about it, not be like the pretentious designer. But, you know, the idea, of course, is to make sure, you know, how well do they know their audience? How well do they know their product? Are they actually advertising their product or focusing on the right USP in this situation, right? That's why they hired us,
Yes.
okay, to challenge them on these. So more often than not, if a client just wants a yes person, that's not going to be a customer that you're going to have for a long time.
No.
That's a customer who has an ego, who just wants something done, and generally they want it done fast, cheap, and want nothing else to do with you in that
Exactly.
relationship.
Yep.
So don't follow that.
Yeah.
Another bullshit in the industry, right, is that a winning portfolio will take you everywhere.
Oh,
A
your
winning portfolio
golden ticket.
guarantees success. It's that golden ticket.
The golden ticket.
So true, right? You know, honestly, it takes a lot more than just a great portfolio to get a job.
Big time. Pfft, tell me about it.
Sean's like, how the hell did I get this job otherwise?
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. You were cute.
Oh, I know. What can I say?
No, but really, it's like, I think we just talked about, like, the interview episode, last episode or 2 episodes ago, about, the portfolio is just, it's like, it's just coming to the table. You need it to come to the table.
Right.
Portfolio and talent, are not necessarily translate to you're going to be wildly successful in this space.
Yep.
You need soft skills. You need to be able to ask the right questions.
Yes.
You need to be able to have the right, personality to be able to, to find out from the customer what's needed, what's not. It's so much more than just a portfolio that's required.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean don't focus on your portfolio.
Yeah, definitely.
Please.
Yeah. You're not just turning pages with this thing, like we talked about, right? There's a story behind every piece that you've got.
Absolutely. But in all fairness, your ability to connect with the customer,
right, is important.
Understand, help them build their brand, right? Like dig deep. That's more important.
Far more important than what that book is. Yeah.
Do you know, when I've been on presentations, I can honestly say I have won presentations and we've won clients without even opening up our portfolio.
Wow.
Right? And that's because there's so much more that they're looking for, right?
Yes.
Again, and that was the angle.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I put the portfolio down, and what we did is we actually printed out a portfolio that I'll leave behind for them. Okay?
Nice.
And I walked in, and it was like 3 people. They were all stiff, and they were all sitting on the other side of the table, and it was me, and it was my partner at the time, in another venture, another side hustle from Z Factor, which was a very very good, very lucrative one. And we walked in, right? And they were all like, okay, hey, how you doing, right? Wow. And I put it down right in front of them. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to even open this up. I said, I know who you're interviewing. Yeah. I know they're all quality people. And, in order for them, to be quality people, right, they're going to have good portfolios, right? Yeah. So, I don't want to compete on that. I'm going to let you look at this at your own time. We're going to talk to you about everything else. We're going to find out what you're looking for. We're going to get to know each other.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all 4 of these people who are upright were just like, whoa, a huge sigh of relief. They sat back, and it was just the world's best client conversation.
Yes.
We started talking about them, their businesses, the company, what they were looking for, their challenges. Completely. In the end, they were like, okay, come on. Let's see the portfolio. And then they actually pulled it out from us. But it wasn't the angle that we took because, again, the portfolio, just like everybody else from that pitch, was all equally good in their own way.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's so much more. This is so much more important than that.
Nice.
And I think the biggest, industry bullshit is that you have to say yes to everything.
Oh, man.
Okay? And this, I think, gets so many people in trouble.
Yes.
Because saying yes to every job, saying yes to every opportunity, saying yes to every ask that you have, leads to burnouts. Mm-hmm. It actually lowers your income. It doesn't increase it, right? Your growth is slower and the work is more important. The quality of work actually goes down.
Yes, exactly. Because you're stretched way too thin.
Stretched way too thin. You have no chance to raise your rates. You're constantly like, okay, fine, I'll do this. Okay, fine, I'll do this. Yeah. And again, you're not getting to focus on yourself. It's so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
To say no.
Yep.
Okay. So powerful to fire customers when there's not the right fit in this case, right? Because again, you don't have to say yes to every single job. And that's a big fallacy. You got to remember it's more quality over quantity. And that's how you grow. Right. You can start getting to a point where you can start picking and choosing, jobs that align with your goals, your values, your skill set, your availability.
That's right.
Right.
There you go.
And then at that point, if somebody really, really wants you, raise your rates. I'll say yes, but guess what? My rates just went up 25%.
That's right.
Right. Don't tell them that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just raise it and be like, this is what you got.
Yeah. Because, and that's fair because you're a designer in demand now all of a sudden, right? So you have every right to raise your rates. That's fine. So nothing wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah, I think what is wrong is when you're saying yes to every opportunity. And it's kind of a backwards way of thinking because, again, I grew up in an environment where it's like every dollar counted, right? And at home, and my parents came from nothing, and then, they worked for everything. They kept everything for life, right? Yep. So it's like when I was like, no, I don't. So just take on everything, take volume, get lots of work, and who cares if it's a little bit of money? It's better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because if I'm
So you
not
never ever
making
did that.
if I'm not making any money,
Yeah.
I'd rather be sitting on my ass and learning.
Yeah.
So what's the point of working, at a deficit? Fuck it. I'd rather learn, because then that's long-term investment to my skills.
Totally, yeah.
Long-term investment to my company, the final goal at the end. And I mean, again, he gets it now.
Yeah.
Growing up, though, he's always shaking his head.
He's
I don't
like,
know why you
why
wouldn't
were
take
you
that.
refusing
I
that?
don't know why you doing.
So you never did do that. You were never a yes man.
No,
in this field.
No, that's not true. At the beginning, of course, I took everything.
Oh,
I could.
yeah, okay, yeah.
100%.
Fair enough.
And
But-
again, it was learning.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just like, take everything, because don't forget, I took the industry that nobody else wanted.
Right.
Right. And then we said yes to everything because we wanted to learn everything. Okay. But then there came a point when some hard lessons, and it was just like, this guy's taking advantage of me. This guy wants something for nothing. And that's when we started realizing
say no.
there's more value in saying no than there is in saying yes.
Got it.
When you have a customer,
Yeah.
okay, it's probably better, in order to keep that customer, to say yes to whatever they are asking for and figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't mean you have to say yes to every job, at every, client's request, at their rates and everything else. Right. Plain and simple. Maybe it lost us that last customer.
Could be.
Right. Because it was like, I really didn't want this job, but if we were going to take it, we had to make it profitable. I really don't want to do this because we have no hours. Right. So we didn't say yes to everything.
Right.
Because it would have put us into
the red.
It would have. It would. It absolutely. And I think they got pissed off at that, which is why they bounced.
Yeah.
But if that's why they bounced, that's not the kind of client that we want anyway.
No.
If they are thinking that they're above everybody else, thinking that they can, get more work done for less pay and this and that, at a rate, and at a pace that, puts all the other customers behind them, it's not worth having.
Nope.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just trouble. That's just trouble. You might as well jettison that right off the bat, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You might as well what?
Jettison that.
Jettison. Oh, that sounds really kind of cowboyish.
It does, doesn't it?
Now that I'm watching Fallout, that sounds like something that I would hear a ghoul say.
Would say. Yeah,
right? See? Okay. So I'm not wrong with that one.
But you got to catch up. God.
I'm only at episode 4, guys. I'm sorry.
Everybody in the office has finished it.
Apparently, everybody in the world has finished it. They're going to shut it down next week, so I got to hurry up and binge this weekend.
It this weekend.
For the record, this Jack is actually great, dude.
It's not terrible.
It's not. See? And again, it's a matter of being able to appreciate both sides, right?
That's right.
And we don't always need, the high end, the craziness, the flashiness.
Yep.
This is actually great.
Yeah, we have had, you're right, we've had really, really good whiskeys and bourbons and scotches in here, but a return to the basics, not such a bad thing.
Right?
Really.
Being able to appreciate the basics, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think what we've done is we're outfitting ourselves, Sean, with, libation survival skills. So if we're ever in a forest and all there is to drink is Jack's, I think we will be equally happy at this case.
That's right.
And with that being said, I want to outfit graphic designers or our angry designers with some survival skills.
Nice segue.
Okay. And again, these are the survival skills, the no bullshit survival skills for graphic designers.
Nice.
Okay. That I guarantee you, will help you no matter what your journey looks like. Right. For example, number 1.
Yep.
Get over your fucking self.
Wait, I'm the best. I worked at Google.
No, but seriously, like the reason why this is so important is the industry, and this is going to be tough love, but the industry doesn't fucking owe you anything. Okay, it absolutely doesn't. This entitlement that people sometimes have coming out of school or coming from a higher end job only gets you so far. And a lot of that, unfortunately, is at the back of the line, right? You need to check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
You need to stay humble. Okay. Take feedback. Be prepared to prove your worth every day, right? Because honestly, nobody wants to work with someone like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely nobody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Jeez, we've had some of those here.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally. And do you think of that too? The kids coming out of school, you got fucking straight A's for the your last semester. You think you're hot shit, right? It doesn't work that way in the real world.
It doesn't work that way,
And
right?
boy, did we ever figure that one out really quick,
right? Absolutely. You know, our new hire, I've given her a couple little, one-on-one sessions, to talk about review stuff or tweak this or tweak that. she's so awesome.
Yes.
She just, she's like, no, I want this.
Yeah.
I want this kind of feedback. I'm going to be the best. I love that. She actually said that. She's like, I'm going to be the best. Right.
Yeah.
And she just wants it all. I was like, okay, cool. Well, then we're off to a great start. Then it just makes you be nicer to her about the whole experience.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah. She'll be my boss one day.
All right. Survival skill. Another survival skill. Okay.
Yes.
Embrace the grind.
I love that.
Okay. Like, let's face this. Success doesn't come from fucking playing ping pong and having like all these buffets at lunchtime and a massage afterwards. This, it fucking comes from hard work and perseverance.
Yes.
Okay. You need to be prepared to put in the hours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put in the effort, push through those projects that fall wayside or that near the end you just hate. You're like, fuck, I just wish this project would be done. Okay. And not try to find a shortcut way around it, but literally push through to the end, right?
Yeah.
This is what this space is, because enough of these projects underneath your belt, and things start becoming easier and easier. And you know things to watch out for. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, you need to get through that. You need to go over the shit before you can start kind of seeing in the clear.
Exactly. Yes. Not everything is going to be a portfolio piece that you're going to be working on.
And the reality is
Yes.
probably 70% of what we work on a daily basis,
Yes.
if not 75, 80 sometimes,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes of the year, they just pay the bills.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And they give everybody the right environment.
Mm-hmm.
They give everybody, our Friday lunches, which are fun, right? Or,
Yes.
or the atmosphere that we've built, right?
Yep.
And that's all right.
And that's fine. That's great.
That's all right.
I am completely, it's funny because as I get older, those kind of things bother me less. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
I understand that this is, and you're exactly like you said, you've experienced enough of this to know the end outcome. It's going to be sucky at the end, but you just have to kind of push on through.
Push on through, buddy.
Yes.
That's right.
And then when you complete that job, boy, oh boy, it feels good.
Absolutely. All right. Another survivor skill.
Yeah.
Develop thick skin.
Oh, that's a great one.
Okay. Seriously, rejection and criticism are just part of this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you're getting it from your boss, whether you're getting it from your client, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're getting it, from the people that you created from, and it goes out in the market and everybody hates that shit.
Yeah.
I can just imagine, like the guy who created that Calendly logo is probably not feeling very proud of himself right now, right? Because everybody was bitching about it. But you know what the thing is, it's like if you can't handle, constructive criticism, and not even constructive, sometimes it's just
criticism.
shitty.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. Criticism from people who absolutely have no fucking right to say something about it. Dude, you're in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
Right. You need to develop a thick skin, right? You need to be able to, take the constructive criticism and learn to ignore the haters.
Yes.
Okay. CJ, we talked so much about the haters and how much, initially it pissed him off.
Yeah.
To the point where he's like ready to battle these guys. And then he's like, you know what?
Then he used it as his fuel.
Wow. Right?
Yeah.
Tell me that didn't go against those. That worked in reverse.
It absolutely did. It's funny because the post, we were talking to which one to use for to announce his, and he's like, yes, use the goofy one because I fucking like that because it pisses people off. And I was just like, damn, dude.
Right. Absolutely right.
That is great. Like, good for him. He has embraced that, and you could really get the sense that he doesn't give a fuck.
Absolutely right. And you need to get to that point because again, everybody seems to have a fucking opinion in this space.
Big time.
Yeah, and most of the time, it's from people who absolutely have no idea about the project, of the the brief that you created, or even the product that you're building it for. They're just like, oh, I would have done it differently if I had to do it. It's like, but you work at a pet store shaving my dog's ass.
Exactly.
And you're telling me you would have done it
this differently? Yeah.
Go back to shaving the dog's ass.
Exactly. Hindsight is 2020. I used to read was it brand new when a new logo would come out?
Yep.
And some of the comments were just like seriously biting. Like,
I know.
Come on, that's too far.
And it's like, nope.
But this is what the space we're in, right? Some people
unfortunately,
think they can do your job 10 times better than you.
Apparently, everybody can.
Yeah, exactly.
So
not knowing what the clients had to say or your time frame to do this in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know what? You just kind of, after a while, you just don't even see that shit anymore.
Yeah.
You tune it out and you're like, yeah, right. Whatever, buddy. Another survival skill. Okay. Master the art of bullshit detection. Okay? Not all advice is good advice. So you need to learn how to filter out all the bullshit around you.
Yes.
Okay? You need to be skeptical of trends, whether they're logo design trends or font trends. You need to just learn to kind of tone that shit out, or buzzwords, people who are dropping buzzwords all the time. You need to be able to realize that, you know what? These guys have no fucking idea what they're talking about, right? Like, again, focus on what works and not on what doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's so easy to get caught up in all of, the noise that's out there. But the reality is that noise goes away really quick.
Big time.
Unfortunately, replaced with more noise. But the reality is, once you realize it's all bullshit and you just don't focus on it, it goes away.
Yes.
And it's shocking because you know how liberating it is not to follow font trends or design trend, or logo design trends.
Yeah.
I hate that. I still hurts that, right? I don't mind if it was presentation trends,
Fair enough.
better ways to present a logo to a customer. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What's hot? Are they expecting something digital versus something print? Are they expecting, like mock-ups on actual physical items? Or are they still happy with, just that? I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But when you talk about certain things that are, bending the rules of, what's timeless.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that hurts so much.
Logo trends is just wrong.
Yeah.
It's an oxymoron. You can't say stuff like that.
I know, right? Honestly, go back to your trusted sources.
That's right.
Go back to the basic principles of design, the basic principles that you're aware of, understand, how the grid works, focus on, there's such a beautiful library of UX principles and design principles that, apply so much to that. Focus on that.
Yes.
Don't get caught up in all the other bullshit.
That's right.
Right? Another survival skill for graphic designers. Network like your career depends on it.
Yes.
Because the reality is, it does.
It does.
It really, really, really does.
It's huge.
Opportunities don't always go to the people who are the best, the most talented, the most creative. Opportunities go to the people who are there to catch them.
Yes.
To make that contact, it's and I hate that term. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But in the sense of being at the right place in the right time, being top of mind will actually get you work.
Big
right?
time. Big
I
time.
hate events. I do. I hated those networking events, but there is value being in certain communities that do open you up to new opportunities. Okay. So, you need to be strategic about the connections you make. You need to be strategic about the events you attend. You follow up, you bring your hustle to every one of these. Okay. And for some of us, it might be hard. So we might need to rest beforehand. You might need to rest afterwards. But when you're at these events, make an effort to go and meet one new person, two new people, make sure you've got your polish on and you're able to talk about yourself, your values, why you rock. Okay. You don't have to be the best one out there.
Nope.
You just have to be there at the right time with the right person.
That's right.
Okay. And that's why networking is incredibly important in that sense.
Huge.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another survival skill that I'm very proud of, and we just did an episode on this. Okay. Be a hustler. Be a hustler, right? Seriously, don't be scared of taking on side gigs. Okay, don't be scared of freelance work. All these little things that you take on can lead to bigger opportunities. Okay, so again, make sure you're not underselling yourself, undervaluing yourself, but you can't sit back and just wait shit to come for you. You have to make shit happen. Okay. And again, you create your own future in this. You create your own luck. You create your own opportunities. I don't believe that there's such a thing as being lucky.
No.
Okay. I believe that, luck goes to the people who are looking for it, because, luck is a combination of time, or what is it? Opportunity meets preparation.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And again, it's like, people are like, oh, he's so lucky. A bag of money just fell out of the sky, and hit him in the head. And that's bullshit. Because if it hit you in the head, it would knock you out and you wouldn't have seen that shit coming.
Exactly.
Okay?
Somebody else would scoop it up.
Right. Exactly. Somebody else who is walking around looking up at the fucking sky with their arms out.
Exactly.
Okay. Every time I took a step, it's like I'd look up and I'd be like, anything falling? Nope. A step forward. Take another step. Looking up. Is anything else falling? I would make sure I was ready to catch that shit. Right.
Yes.
And again, so this is where it's like you always have to be hustling.
Yeah.
Right? You always be hustling. Hustle.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what? Survival skill. We talked about this before, and I'm just going to stress it right now.
Big one.
Ditch perfection. Again, perfection is the killer of creativity.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to be creative, you want to learn to love what you do, you have to stop worrying about trying to be perfect. Okay. And again, perfect for you.
Yes.
Not perfect for the customer.
Yeah.
And I have to stress that is a huge differentiating factor.
Big difference.
Huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Customer they don't know your perfection.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what you create at, like I said, at 80% is perfect for them.
Yes.
Okay. And all that extra 20% that could take you twice as long as the original project does, it's just satisfy your own, I don't know, quirks, your own
desires or whatever.
Whatever, your own standard that you've
Yes.
set for yourself that really is unattainable, right?
Yes.
Perfection is the killer of creativity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It leads to all these negative things like burnout, right? Honestly, don't worry about that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So forget that.
Nice.
All right. Here's a cool one. Ready? Here's another. Only got 2 more to go, guys. Only got 2 more. So listen to these 2. Okay. So survival skill for graphic designers. Okay. Stay hungry and stay foolish.
Nice.
Okay? This was a saying that Steve Jobs said, that famous speech he said, before he passed away at the university, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And it was kind of, it's kind of sentimental because, I think shortly after that, is when he passed away, right?
Okay.
But again, this idea of stay hungry and stay foolish. Okay, resonates across so many industries, but especially resonates with designer because I genuinely feel that Steve Jobs was a designer. 100%.
Big time.
Okay. 100%. Yeah, people say he was a scam artist. He was an asshole.
Well,
he was a good marketer. He was a designer. Granted, he had other people, doing the design work.
Right.
But he was the visionary. He was
Yes.
able to put it all together and see how shit happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So what he meant by stay hungry, stay foolish, right, is by saying stay hungry. Okay. It emphasized this constant desire for wanting to learn more, for being curious, creating new challenges for yourself, right? It wanted you to pursue knowledge beyond just what you needed to. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a big problem is sometimes people they want to find out the answer.
Yeah.
But they don't want to find out deeper than the answer.
Yes.
Okay.
The path
You know,
there.
What are the names of those heads that we see on the side of Easter Island? That's it. They only want to know what the name is. They don't want to know
Why they're there.
Why they're there. How they got
Yes.
there. What are the, this is what, makes learning so much more fun.
Yes.
Right. And again, you have to stay hungry for this, right? The pursuit of knowledge, you need to want to go deeper than just the immediate, answer that's in front of you, right?
Yes.
So that's staying hungry, right? And staying foolish encourages take risks.
Risky. Yeah.
Okay.
Risky.
Be creative.
Yeah.
Go outside the box. Don't always live within the box, right?
Yeah.
Don't be scared to make mistakes.
Yes.
Okay. So, from a design, perspective, okay, once you get complacent, your creativity is done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And as graphic designers, once that happens, you're never going to grow in your career.
Nope.
You will experience ageism, but not because you're old,
Yep.
but because you've outdated yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And that's huge. Right.
Yes.
And so honestly, in this case, keep learning, keep curious. If you're not curious on how things are, why things are the way they are,
Yep.
the deeper meaning behind things, you need to kind of reevaluate, if this is genuinely what you want for yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
As a designer.
Yes. Wow. That's really good.
It is kind of deep though, isn't it?
Yeah. Good for Steve Jobs. I mean, that's.
Oh, that was cool.
You're right. He is a designer in the Massimo Vignelli kind of vein, right? Where you can design one thing, you can design anything. Kind of. That was.
Dude, he didn't invent the mouse.
No.
But he saw a different. Right?
Yes.
Different need for it. He didn't, he didn't create the MP4 player.
Yeah.
But he envisioned how it can be used differently.
Yes.
How people and that's what he was good at. And so
And he fucked up too, the Newton and all that other,
right?
all those weird
Actually,
things.
I'm not sure if the Newton was his. I think that
wasn't that his?
No, that was it while he was gone. I think.
Really?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay, 'cause that
I
was
think that was
bad,
that other
right?
guy. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
And last survival skill, the last survival skill for graphic designers. Always be learning like somebody is behind you ready to steal your fucking job. Yeah, oh, Sean, look right there, Sean.
My job.
I do this to Sean every day. Just
There's somebody behind you. What's your job? Yes, sir.
Sean,
yes, sir.
Hallie's looking over your shoulder. Why? Why is Mac there, dude? Why is Mac there? What is she doing? Listen, honestly, you need to be in this continuous state of learning, improvement. It's about staying ahead in a competitive field, because if it's not now, it will be, once new things start coming out. You need to be prepared to constantly upgrade your skills. You need to be prepared to, understand, upgrade your knowledge, know what's coming, what's out there, right? Like, honestly, there's always somebody ready to take your job. Yeah. Okay. It's competitive out there,
big
right?
Time, big time.
And, if you don't continuously try to improve your skills, stay updated with trends, proactive in new tools, we are big proponents in AI. AI is not coming for our jobs, but damn right, a designer who knows how to use AI out there, who knows how to use AI art, AI, text, between chat and between Sora and this and that, they are the ones who are coming for your jobs.
Big time.
It's going to get more cutthroat because, unfortunately, I do think that the design world is going to start contracting a little bit. I do think that what happened in tech is going to happen everywhere. Okay. Whether certain jobs are, they might be taken over by robotics. They might be taken over by AI. I guaranteed a lot will be taken over by AI. I don't think graphic design has anything to worry about AI directly. No. However, there's new tools that are coming out that are making designers more efficient, more, being able to crank more out less. And there will be those people that are just so hungry.
It will, it's going to thin the herd, and then those people will move to the front. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So you need to consistently be learning, be curious, grow your skills, because somebody right behind you is going to be after your job.
Yeah, exactly.
One way or another. Yeah. And if it's not somebody, it's some new technology, whether it's AI, whether it's some new automation, whether it's offshoring shit, and I hate to say it, but I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah. So, survival skill. Remember that. Yeah. Always be learning. Yeah. I think only you can outdate you.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't necessarily believe that ageism is a cause of getting old. I think it's a cause of getting complacent. And being like, no, I'm still using Photoshop 4 because it does everything I want it to do. I don't need to learn anything past that because if Photoshop 4 does, well, guess what? That's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, this is true. And it's funny because, like, I don't know about you, but I see kids using the Adobe products, and they have these cool tricks, and it's just like, damn.
I know, right?
That's really good. So I kind of use it in an old school way.
Well, and the funny thing is, it's like, our value, and I'm not saying that this is still the case now, but it's like for a large part of, our group is the value that we had was doing, all the tricks that are now automatically done.
Right.
Okay. Again, I proudly, for the past, 10, 15, 20 years would wow everybody when I could, with my Photoshop skills, and I could, put them on the front of a plane, surfing it and this and that. And they're just like, wow, you're fucking incredible.
Yes.
Guess what?
Yeah.
AI can now do it in like
totally
2 seconds.
That. Yeah, exactly.
2 seconds. Like, okay, 5. But the reality is, it's like, the technology is outdating the stuff that we used to think that we were valuable for. Well, yes. And if you haven't, if your value stops at becoming a really good, Photoshop designer, being able to Photoshop shit, guess what? Your time is limited, dude.
Yeah, it's
very limited.
Yeah.
It's limited to the point until your boss realizes he can get that done in AI quickly. He can do it. That's right. He can do it.
Exactly. No, never mind. I'll just do it.
I'll just do it myself. Like you. Run this one.
Yeah. Geez. That's good.
And I'm not saying that the world is coming after our jobs.
No.
But after seeing what's happening in all the other spaces and people not being prepared for this, okay, I want graphic designers to be prepared for what could be. And so, follow these survival skills.
Yep.
Okay. You understand already what the bullshit is that we heard before. Follow the design, all these survival, and I guarantee that you will be able to weather almost any storm that's out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, these are great. Jeez. I mean, holy cow. I like the thick skin. I thought at first you meant being fat, which I had prepared myself to do, but no, I get what you're saying with the thick skin.
Being thick
you got to be
right?
tough. You got to be tougher.
You got to be tough.
No, that's really good. These are great, man. Love them.
Well, Anyway, you know what? I would hate anybody from losing their job, from being complacent or being in a cushy position.
This is true. And I can't feel bad for somebody who got a great gig out of school into Google or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
But yeah, there's a darker side or a grittier side to what we do, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
It's not all what
it's, maybe there's a little bit of like envy that some of these people like worked for 20 years or 15 years in an amusement park. Really?
Yeah.
Right? It was a fucking amusement park with this and that, but that amusement park has dried up. It has dried up. There's nothing else out there. They're dropping like flies. A lot of positions in the design world were, not created necessarily because of the tech industry, but were definitely, amped up or accentuated, like UI, UX designers, right?
Yep.
Even, granted, there's always been industrial designers, but product designers, on a whole. And it was all, hyped up. And now that the whole industry is crashing, they're crashing along with it, right?
Coming down with it.
Again, that industry like employed over 250,000 designers. Okay, right now, just that space. We're not talking manufacturing. We're not talking about small businesses. We're talking about technology.
Yeah.
The technology industry. Yeah. What I was finding today was saying that it employed about 250,000 designers. So now think as shit happens. Right. As AIs come in and helped out, as, new processes come in, as they realize they don't need 5 UX designers where one would do the trick, chopping shit down because now business is going back to business.
Yes.
Okay. It's not this whole, funded by all these, investment companies that don't give a shit if you're making profit or not. Now everybody's looking at the bottom line.
Yeah.
And when people look at the bottom line, they're expecting you to perform. They're expecting a return on their investment.
Exactly.
We have some customers that are going through that right now. And it's like, you know what? All's great and you built a great product, but now we need to see a return.
Yes.
Are you going to do a return, or are we going to have to look at dropping this investment?
Yeah.
So tough times, and tough times are coming for everybody. I think in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be prepared.
Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely. And these tips will certainly help.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Anyway, I hope for the survival skills they would.
Yeah.
Cool.
And drink Jack. It's always good.
Oh, dude. And it's something nice and comforting about being able to appreciate something as honest.
Yes.
And there's a lot of history behind this. There's a lot of brand behind this. And there's a lot of good intention or not, I don't know. But to be able to appreciate something like this.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Right on.
All right, everybody.
That was awesome.
I hope you like what you heard today. By all means, drop us a line. You know where to hit us up. And you've got us on all our socials.
Yeah.
Other than that, my name is Massimo.
My name is Sean.
Stay creative.
And stay angry.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on their fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions, each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please,
Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is over